Trinadapi sunichena charariva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. For those who are here for the first time, I chant that mantra before every lecture that I give because it puts me in the proper mood or attitude. My spiritual master has instructed that spiritual life depends upon the attitude of the devotee. If the attitude is one of humility and meekness, tolerance, compassion, and not self-centered, and helping others, then that is the proper attitude. So I like to chant that mantra to remind me that although I'm sitting on an elevated seat, I still have to remember that I am the insignificant servant of God and the menial servant of my spiritual master. And it is my duty to speak the philosophy that he taught. I cannot make up my own philosophy. I have to repeat. There is a song that is sung in every ISKCON temple every morning. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chite Te Kariya Aikya. That the disciple simply wants to hear the message of the spiritual master and then repeat it. And Srila Prabhupada, when he first arrived in America in September of 1965, he first landed in Boston, and while docked at the pier, he wrote a poem. And there's a line in that poem where he is describing what is the proper mentality of a preacher. And that mentality is, as he himself wrote, that I simply repeat Krishna's message. That is my success. Whether people like me or don't like me really is not my concern. My concern is, am I repeating the message of Guru and Krishna? That message is supposed to be the same. It's not that the Guru has a different message than God. The Guru's message is God's message. The Guru simply repeats the message of God. Then his speaking is perfect. So my business is, I've been studying his books, his writings for over 40 years. And by constantly reading and repeating, here I am today. There is a line in the scriptures, not a blade of glass moves without the sanction of God. So I'm here only because Guru and God has sanctioned it. When they no longer sanction, you'll not see me. So if I am obedient, submissive, then it will go on. And the second mantra that I chant before speaking is the mantra by which I live by. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Kevalam, Kalo Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatiranyata. This mantra was taught to Lord Chaitanya. He is the center figure on the altar, Lord Chaitanya. God himself in the form of a devotee. He's God, but he comes in a disguised form. Maybe you know this word, avatar. A lot of people know it because there was a movie. But the word avatar means someone is coming down from the spiritual realm to the material realm. So the Chana avatar means a disguised or hidden. So the center figure on the altar, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's God, he's Krishna, but in a disguised form as the devotee or worshiper or servant of God. It is just like a teacher when teaching the students how to write the alphabet. The teacher will demonstrate, this is how you write A, this is how you write B. The teacher knows how to do it very well, but the teacher is demonstrating to the students. So in the same way, Lord Chaitanya appeared in order to teach us how to love God. Lord Chaitanya, as Krishna, appeared 5,000 years ago and performed many pastimes. And before leaving and returning to his abode, he left behind his famous book, Bhagavad Gita, a book which is accepted in India as, you could say, the Bible. And now, the Bhagavad Gita is known all throughout the world. Our movement, ISKCON, has seen to it that this Bhagavad Gita has been translated in almost every language of the world, including Swahili. So that is the desire of our spiritual master, that his books be translated so that everyone, regardless of the language, can understand. So, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives his commandment. Just as Jesus was asked once, what is the greatest commandment? And Jesus responded, to love God with your whole heart, your whole mind, your whole soul. As far as I know, they have not changed that. I was taught that 50, 60 years ago in Our Lady of Loreto Catholic School. And I just recently gave a class in a Catholic high school, and as far as I know, that has not been taken out of the Bible, but you never know. Things happen. So, when Jesus said to love God with your whole heart, your whole soul, your whole mind, that is the perfection of religion. That is the same message that is found in Bhagavad Gita. If there is no love of God in the particular club that you belong to, club meaning Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, Islam, if there's no concept of love of God, you're being cheated. The perfection of religion is to love God. And that necessitates that God is a person. Because love has to be reciprocal. To say, oh, I love my camera, that's crazy. The camera is not reciprocating any loving here. Love is between persons. So when we say love of God, that necessitates that God, in the ultimate sense, is a person. So Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says that he commands, like a commandment, you should surrender to me. you should take shelter of me. Why? Because I will deliver you. You will become free from sin. It is in our best interest to love and surrender to Krishna, God. But the problem was, 5,000 years ago, after Krishna left, hardly anyone picked up the message of Krishna. Krishna knows that. So after 5,000 years, he again came as Lord Chaitanya to demonstrate to us what we are missing out. Because one of the major problems of the human condition is that everyone is looking for love. But our experience, for most of us, is that loving propensity is never actually realized. I've had lots of experience of that. I thought Dina would love me. Then I thought Michelle and Melody and Linda, and the list goes on and on and on. But there are so many songs. They've been writing songs about it for the past 1,000 years. Where is the love? Yeah. So, when I started to read Prabhupada's books, there was a couple of places where he talked about this, and it hit me so hard. It was like, oh my God, I've been looking for this all my life. Prabhupada is writing in his books that you have this loving propensity. It's in you, it's dormant, it's there, everyone has it, but we're reposing it in the wrong thing. And therefore, we're frustrated. Prabhupada's solution is repose your loving propensity in God, in Krishna. Then you will be completely satisfied. Those of you who know me, I have the best wife I could possibly ever dream of. My daughter is here. She will testify to that. Yes? And as for you, you have the best mother you could possibly want. Yes? Yes. But even she will tell you, if she was here, she would tell you, yes, but I cannot completely satisfy her, and she cannot completely satisfy me. It's impossible. And she even told me, quite frankly, if it wasn't for Krishna, I would have nothing to do with you. So don't think you're all that. But when you understand what Prabhupada is preaching, when you understand it, it makes sense. Because none of us can completely satisfy the loving propensity of any other person. We don't have the potency, the capacity. Why? Because our loving propensity is unlimited. And in order for that to be fulfilled, the other person would also have to be unlimited. And let's face it, we're each, all of us, quite limited. But that's okay, because there is God, and He's the supreme person, and He's capable of satisfying your loving propensity, mine, you, everyone. That's why He's the only person qualified to be God. Now let's look at Krishna or God's qualifications. When you go for a job interview, They want to see your resume. They want to see your qualifications. So everybody makes their resume look very nice. They really pad it because they want that job. And nowadays it's very expert. You know, if somebody was a janitor, then they have this fancy name for it to make it look good, you know. So let's look at Krishna's resume. So, first of all, Ishvara Paramaha Krishnaha, Sanskrit. Our scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, is written in Sanskrit. Many linguistic scholars accept that Sanskrit is the original language of the world. So in this verse, Ishvara Paramaha Krishna, the supreme controller, his name is Krishna. Each of us has some level of control. We either control our partner, you control your children, you have some sphere of control in your life. But none of us can claim, I am the supreme controller. If you do, loco en la cabeza. No, you cannot be the supreme controller. If you were, when it's too hot, you would say, son, stop being so hot. Yes. But you're not the supreme controller. You are some controller, but not the supreme. The creator, Lord Brahma, this is his verse that I'm quoting. The creator of our universe, Brahma, he says, Krishna is the supreme controller. This word Krishna, can everybody say that name? Krishna. Very good. The word Krishna means all attractive. Now, maybe I have some attractive quality, maybe you have some, maybe you have two, but can any of us say, I am all attractive? No. But Krishna is definitely all attractive. He has all wealth, unlimited wealth. What's in your wallet? Krishna says, I have all the wealth, unlimited. Krishna says, not Krishna, this is another verse by Parashara Muni, that Krishna is the Godhead, all attractive, because he has all wealth, all beauty, all wisdom, strength, renunciation, fame. He has all these opulences to an unlimited degree. We may have one, we may have all six. But can you say you have them unlimitedly? Not possible. So, Ishvara Paramaha Krishna. Now, on the resume of God, Sat Chid Ananda Vigraha. Right now, our existence is not eternal. The soul, the real you, which you have yet to see, I'm not talking about the person you see in the mirror. That's not you. You haven't seen the real you yet. And trust me, when you get to be 64, you're going to be glad that that's not you that you see in the mirror. Trust me. Yes, when you're young, you think, oh, I'm so handsome. Then 40, 50 years later, ugh. The soul is actually quite beautiful, youthful, eternal. This word sat means eternal. But this eternality is not experienced in the human condition. We're all experiencing, the clock is ticking. As we say, you're not getting any younger. And with that old age, right? And ladies, you know, that first gray hair, oh my God! That wrinkle, or for men, the big six-pack abs turn into flab. Yes. So Krishna's body, that word vigraha, his body is eternal. On the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna was 120 years old, but what did he look like? A 16-year-old youth. That's God. 120 years old, but looks like a 16-year-old blooming youth. His body is eternal. That's God. Chit, full of knowledge. You all know, going to school, going to university, how hard it is. You have to spend, especially if you want to become a doctor, you have to spend so many years studying. Or my son-in-law, he became a lawyer, and he had to spend hour and hour after hour, day after day after day. He was living with me in our 2-bedroom apartment the whole day, just studying, studying, studying. I actually got great inspiration from you. I said, if my son-in-law can spend the whole day studying for the bar exam, then I should be able to spend all day studying Bhagavad Gita. You gave me great inspiration, Jagat Bandhu. But was my right? You had to spend many, many days, all day studying and cramming, and then you passed. Oh, happy day. Wasn't that great, huh? Because you had put so much energy and effort in, and you saw the fruit of your work. So if anybody has any tax problems, he is quite expert. And also, you do financial planning too as well? Estate. So, there he is. He didn't ask me to say that, just came out. So Krishna has all knowledge. He's always cognizant of his position. He's fully aware of who he is. He never forgets. He doesn't fall into illusion, doesn't make mistakes. His senses are perfect. That's God. And then Ananda. Krishna's form is Ananda. How is your body going? Are you always blissful all day long? What's it like when you get up in the morning? Yes, these bodies are full of suffering. There is a concept in our scriptures, the kleshas, the miseries. There's 3 of them. Miseries caused by our own bodies and mind. Sometimes you wake up and your mind is disturbed and everything is just not right. Or you have some pain in the body, toothache, leg, there's always something. So we have miseries just due to the fact of our bodies and mind. Then there are miseries caused by other living entities, such as the boss, or the wife, or the husband, or the disobedient children, mosquitoes. When some years back, where I live, top floor of an apartment, and our ceilings are wood. So when it would get this hot, all the termites would all of a sudden flood the apartment. Thousands of termites. You'd be away and you come home and you go, oh my God. Because the heat just makes them, they got to get out of the wood, and and we'd have to call the apartment management, and they would come and do their orange oil every year. But sure enough, September, October, because that's the real summer. The hottest nowadays, it's September, October. Pretty hot today, isn't it? Yes. That's California. September and October is real summer. So we get miseries from other living entities. Then we get miseries from nature. Earthquakes, hurricanes, and now the big thing in California, drought. It's serious, is it not? It is very serious. Without water, we ain't going to last. We had better pray, and pray hard, because it is a serious thing. I am praying for this drought to end. But then there's a fourth misery I have discovered. Right? So these in Sanskrit, adibautic, adidaivik, adiatmic. But I have discovered the fourth misery, aditechnic. We're so attached to technology that when it doesn't work, we go mad. When your cell phone doesn't work, what do? You throw it. Some words come out of your mouth that you don't want to say in front of your mother. Right? When we have computer virus, right? You lose everything. And now the big thing, probably you have been reading, now we have some terrorists in Russia, and they have hacked into the financial sector, and so many of these big banks, their security has been compromised. And so now they have millions of people's ID, credit card number, password. I'm not making this up. So our whole existence now is tied up into technology. And at any moment, the whole thing could come crashing down. You'll go to your bank account, zero. Yes. But Krishna, he is Ananda. Ananda is not happiness. Happiness comes and goes. Material happiness is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. It can be in passion, in goodness, or in ignorance. Yes, there's happiness in the mode of ignorance. Intoxication is happiness in the mode of ignorance, where you think you're enjoying. That's called Maya. You think you're enjoying, but you're actually suffering. Drug addiction. Then there is Ananda. So there's happiness in the mode of passion, as described in the Bhagavad Gita. In the beginning, it's very good, but over time, it goes south, it goes sour. And then there's happiness in the mode of goodness, the pursuit of knowledge, the finer arts, where you become more peaceful and more intellectual. But it's material. It won't last, because according to the Bhagavad Gita, these modes of nature are constantly like waves. So sometimes the mode of goodness is prominent and it's overtaken by passion. And then the mode of passion is overcome by the mode of ignorance. And that's why our lives are like that. Up and down, up and down. Nothing remains steady. That's not Ananda. Ananda is, those of you who know math, there's a kind of curve where it's like this. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 60. It keeps increasing, increasing, increasing to infinity. That is Ananda. Krishna's pleasure is like that. It's always increasing at every moment. I would like that. That's why I joined this movement. I want Ananda. How do I get it? Do I buy it at Amazon.com? No. Ananda is given to us by Krishna, by Lord Chaitanya, and he's given us a process by which we can have Ananda at any time, untap. All of you should have your Ananda beads. These are the Ananda beads. And at any time, any circumstance, you can tap in to Ananda. Everybody have a tongue? Everybody have 2 ears? Good. You can have Ananda. All that's required is that you audibly chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Maha means great. There are many mantras in the Vedas, but I like to say, especially for when I would go to the high schools and colleges, this mantra is the mantra on steroids. It's the Maha Mantra. And all you have to do is simply vibrate and listen to the syllables. Everyone repeat. Ha. Re. Krish. Na. Ra. Ma. Very simple. If you chant this Maha Mantra, Lord Chaitanya is teaching us that at every step you are beginning to taste Ananda. Because this is not a material sound vibration. It is the name of God. And God, those of you who come from the Christian tradition, hallowed be thy name. Hallowed means to become holy. If you chant these syllables, there's 3 words, 32 syllables, 16 names. These syllables have transcendental potency. And you simply vibrate and listen. Pay attention to the sound. That's it. That is the art of chanting. Listening to the sound you make. And the more that you can concentrate and lock in, the effects of the mantra will occur. Now trust me. Please trust me. I'm not a car salesman. I know a car salesman will say, no. And I'm not a politician. When a politician says, trust me, you know, no, I'm not. So I'm neither a politician nor a car salesman. But I am a transcendental salesman. So my experience, I have been chanting this Maha Mantra since July of 1973. Now, I'm red-blooded American, grew up in New York, forget about it. Do you think I'm that foolish that I'm going to spend 2-3 hours every day chanting some words and not get something out of it? Trust me. If this mantra didn't work, I wouldn't have done it more than one day. because that's the way I am. Show me the money. That's my philosophy. Now, Rupanuga talked about the first time that I had prasadam. The first time I had prasadam, I jumped up and I said, "Give me more, give me more." It was that good. And it was spinach, something I hate. But this was something special. Spinach that tasted better than ice cream. There was something about this spinach. And the devotees were very smart. If you want more, you got to come back tomorrow. So I decided I'm coming to this temple. And every day I would come, it would be different food. And it tasted like nothing else. So in the same way, if you chant this, and that's what happened. I tried chanting, and as soon as I started to do it properly, I got a taste. And so I have continued every day. So many hours I spend. But it's because I'm getting something from it. And what am I getting from it now? I get realizations from Krishna within the heart. And Krishna, right now, I have not prepared a lecture, so to speak. I'm not reading a teleprompter. I am speaking to you from the heart. I'm just letting it rip. I have surrendered to Krishna, and I said, "Krishna, let's go." So I'm just getting inspiration from Krishna. And this all comes from nicely chanting this Hare Krishna mantra every day. I put straw in my teeth. I bow down. I tell you, all of you, you're more exalted than me, more intelligent than me. You're definitely more beautiful and handsome than me. You're better than me in every respect. I just want to beg one thing, that's all. That please chant this Maha Mantra and see how it affects you. Let it do its magic. Let's all do it together. Everybody raise your hand. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, somebody sponsored my coming here today, and I see that he has arrived, and he requested a particular topic. But since I didn't see him at the beginning, I said, well, I'm going to do whatever I want. And Rupanuga said, yes, you could do. But now that you have come, now I should do. Is that all right? How am I doing so far? Everybody happy? Is okay? You really know how to make someone feel good. Especially in front of my daughter and son-in-law. Thank you. So, there is an incident in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The incident is an elephant and a crocodile. Both the elephant and the crocodile had been human beings in their previous lives, but each of them had offended some saintly personality, and they were cursed. So one took birth as an elephant, and one took birth as a crocodile. And the elephant and the crocodile, they began to have a fight. And that fight lasted many, many years. Now, what was happening? The elephant is a creature of the land, not the water. And the crocodile is a creature of the water, not the land. Since the fight was going on in the water, in the lake, over many, many years, the elephant was getting weaker. Why? He's not in his normal habitat. The crocodile was getting stronger. Why? He's in his natural habitat. So apart from the entire history that goes on, this is very instructive, and Srila Prabhupada makes a good point, which is something that is for all of us. That when you take up spiritual life, you have actually declared war against materialism, atheism, illusion. You have declared war. You're going against the current, the tide. Because out there, everything is pointing to you, the body. Enjoy. Become a dog. Drink. Eat. Be merry. And go to hell. The whole atmosphere out there is leading you to deeper and deeper realms of materialism. Here, you're being pulled out of that and being encouraged, enthused, enlivened, prompted to go to the spiritual world. So each of us is fighting a war. Now, when you fight, my son-in-law was a Marine, so he knows what it's like to be in combat. So when you're fighting a war, you need strength. You need everything at your disposal to fight the enemy. And this enemy, the material energy, she don't play nice. She's coming for you. Especially when you tell her, I want to get out of your clutch. What? You want to get out of my clutches? No. Here's another allurement. Here's some more Maya. You won't pass my test. So in this fight against Maya, you need to be in a normal psychophysical condition. You have to be in a situation where you have all your faculties and everything going for you to fight this battle. So keep that in mind. Over the years, many people have written to me asking me for advice. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I go here? I always tell them, when you're making a decision about your life, the decision should be, how is this decision going to affect my spiritual life? It may be good for me materially, but is it going to be at the expense of my spiritual life? Is it going to take me away from God? Is it going to put me in a situation where I'm going to lose my religion, so to speak? Rule of thumb is that whatever decision you make, it should be something that's going to foster your chanting, your hearing, your worshiping, your praying, your spirit or your yoga, your spiritual life. Make decisions with your spiritual life as your priority. Automatically, you will make the proper material decision as well. After all, we are hybrid. We are hybrid. How's that? You're spiritual, but you got a material body. That makes you hybrid. You can't just ignore the fact that you have a material body. Spiritual life doesn't mean, oh, I'm spiritual, so I don't got to do anything. No, you've got to deal with your hybrid condition. You have to use your material body, and it has to become a spiritual instrument. That is the whole process of bhakti. In our movement, the way Prabhupada taught us, we do not deny anything material. Everything material can be used to advance your spiritual life. I'm using a camera, a tape recorder, a computer, a car. But I'm using these things to advance my spiritual knowledge and spiritual existence. That is the revolutionary concept that is called yukta vairagya, feasible detachment. Say you like to dance. We don't deny dancing. In 10 minutes, you'll be encouraged to dance. But don't dance in the nightclub. Dance in this club. Krishna's club. Dance for God and be happy. You like to eat. Eat for God. Don't eat Del Taco and Whopper and... No, eat sanctified foodstuffs offered to God. And as you can see, I've taken that instruction 100%. Eat, but eat prasad, spiritual food. You like to sing. I love to sing. So don't sing the blues. Sing about Krishna. You like to make money? Talk to Rupanuga. Make money for Krishna. He'll help you invest your money properly using it for Krishna. Is that right? Yeah. You have intelligence. Use your intelligence. Understand this philosophy and preach. Preach. Everyone. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that there's no one more dear to me than one who tells others my message. That's what it means to be a preacher. Just tell anyone and everyone the message of Krishna, and Krishna will see you as his greatest devotee. Yes. Open your heart, your mouth, and tell others about Krishna. One time, Prabhupada was with a devotee family, and the young 5-year-old girl went up to somebody and said, "This is a stranger," and Prabhupada heard it. The young girl said, "Did you know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead?" Prabhupada said, "That's preaching." Simple. Simple. Just, okay. Nowadays, I go to some temples, they tell me, "Prabhu, don't use that word preaching. They don't like it." I go, okay, no problem. So I use a different word, sharing. We're sharing. Okay? It's a new culture now. Preaching is like, oh, that's negative. Okay. I'm sharing my love. Coast 103. We're sharing our Krishna consciousness. And this one goes out to Bobby. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. One time, okay, I used to work a regular job. Okay, for 7 years, I was in an office. And when I would answer the phone, this is how I'd answer the phone. Haribol. Now, I said it so fast that they thought I said hello. Haribol. Then one time I was in an elevator, and there was all these college exchange students, and they were in pairs, so there was like 10 different languages going on at the same time. So I said, okay, Sarvadaman prityaja mamekam sharanam braja aham tvang sav. I said, if they're talking jibber jabber, I might as well do Sanskrit shlokas. The idea being, use your intelligence. Krishna will give you intelligence how to share Krishna consciousness. If you do that, you will see how Krishna will bless you unlimitedly. Because it's not that I say, Krishna says, there's no servant to me more dear than one who shares my message. So when I do my version of Bhagavad Gita, I will use that word, share, so that it's politically correct for the time being. And then in a few years, they'll have a different word. No, you can't use that word now, Prabhu. Whatever. So this Gajendra, he's losing the fight. So because he was a devotee in his previous life, and although he is an elephant, in this severe circumstance where he's about to die, he remembers a mantra, a prayer that he had known as a human being. And even as an elephant, in his heart, he was able to offer the prayer. And we all know who lives within the heart of everyone. Are you sure? Yes. Krishna is in everyone's heart. I love that about our philosophy. That even you don't like Krishna, you don't care about Krishna, he's still there. Krishna is cool. Even you want to hate him, he'll give you the intelligence how to hate him. Oh, is that cool or what? That's Krishna. He's in the heart of everyone, the good and the bad, the demon and the devotee, and it's him who's helping the living entity how to do anything. Prabhupada even said, Krishna in the heart of the thief is telling the thief, go in that house, nobody's home. But Krishna is also in the heart of the policeman. Wake up, stop eating donuts, there's somebody robbing that house. You gotta love Krishna, he plays both sides. He never loses. It's great. So the elephant offered this prayer to the Lord. And the Lord in the heart heard this prayer. And the elephant also plucked a lotus flower and offered it. Just like we're going to offer flowers while you're dancing. We also offer flowers. So the Lord immediately appeared to save his devotee. And the Lord delivered the devotee. He used his disc, Sudarshan Chakra, to cut off the head of the crocodile. And the Lord also delivered the elephant. So when the Lord killed the crocodile, he assumed his previous form as a Gandharva. And when he delivered the elephant became his original form and then was sent back to the spiritual world, the kingdom of God. So this is called Gajendra Mokshana, the deliverer of Gajendra. Now, I just want to finish up by reading just one little portion of the elephant's prayer, because it's a great way to end a perfect class. Please repeat. So the elephant offered prayers, but this is the key line. Please repeat. O original enjoyer. O Lord of the universe. O deliverer. As famous as a place of pilgrimage. All are purified. Simply by hearing your holy name. Which is worthy to be chanted. So, God is the original enjoyer. We are subsequent enjoyers. He is the Lord of the universe. Here in this temple, we do a yearly festival, the Ratha Yatra, and he's on our altar. His name is Jagannath. Everybody say, Jagannath. Jagannath means the Lord of the universe. He is also the deliverer, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. So this last line, all are purified simply by hearing your holy name, which is worthy to be chanted. Again, from the Bible, hallowed be thy name. And our philosophy takes that to the nth degree. So now we're going to worship God. We're going to chant this name, which is worthy to be chanted, and will become purified. And when you become purified, you become happy. Who wants to be happy? Then stand and chant the name of God and become happy.